Hey, Azar, Wayne Dolcefino, I've been looking for you a long time. We had tried for months to talk to Houston attorney Azar Chaudhry, and this one-sided conversation will last only 20 seconds. Why don't you pay the people you owe money to? This video is now evidence in a defamation lawsuit the lawyer has filed against us. The lawsuit claims there are 17 false facts in our first report on this Houston immigration attorney. Chaudhry claims that's why he won't do an interview with us now. But Chaudhry's legal trouble has grown since we first reported on him almost 2 years ago. One of the former lawyers in his firm sued Chaudhry for unpaid wages and a refusal to provide a simple W-2 so he could pay his taxes. The Texas Workforce Commission awarded the lawyer almost $11,000, and then he sued. But that's not as potentially problematic to a lawyer as the court rulings in a bitter hospital bankruptcy battle that began in Cleveland, Texas. One of Chaudhry's clients in that case, Dr. Camille Creek, filed his own court documents with the Texas Court of Appeals, accusing Chaudhry of extortion because of egregious fees. We reviewed those invoices from Chaudhry's law firm in the case. Chaudhry and another lawyer both billing $500 an hour for every single task in the case, even stuff paralegals and secretaries normally do for a lot less money. The invoices totaling $913,000 in just 10 months, with Chaudhry billing as much as 16 hours in one day. For one 10-page motion, Chaudhry's firm billed $16,800. According to Creed's legal filings, Chaudhry demanded a lot more money to stay in the case. Quoting, "We found ourselves the victims of extortion by our attorney," Creed wrote. "Our attorney drags us into a sanction simply to demand an additional fee of $800,000 in legal fees under the threat of abandoning the case." Chaudhry terminated his clients in April of 2022. U.S. bankruptcy judge Marvin Isker issued rare sanctions against Chaudhry and his clients of $140,000 in that case. Quoting, "The court is loath to impose sanctions against attorneys or their clients, but when the conduct is severe and unremitting, the court is left with no choice." But at least there were invoices in that hospital case documenting the work Chaudhry claims he did.
I really think the man is a sham, in all honesty.
A brutal opinion from another former legal client, Houston real estate developer Hamza Ali. Let's remind you of the legal fight that first put Azar Chaudhry on our radar, and why Hamza Ali brought his complaints to us in the first place, frustrated the state bar wouldn't help him get his money back.
This is making sure that he doesn't scam the Houston immigrant community any more than he already has.
The war-torn country of Yemen was on the list when former President Trump announced his travel ban on some Muslim countries. Hamza Ali was afraid of his future if his family was sent there.
Hey guys, this is Hamza.
A social media star on Houston real estate, Ali was clearly living the American dream.
Personally, I was afraid because I can't go back to Yemen. I have a little bit of a public profile, and I would probably get kidnapped there for ransom.
In his lawsuit against Chaudhry, Ali provides checks totaling more than $800,000 he says he paid. Ali says it was to get his family expedited green cards.
This is not about the money for me. This is going after him. This is making sure that he doesn't do this to anybody else.
Ali remembers his happiness when blurry images came by text over his phone with the word "congratulations."
I was so excited, right? And he says, "This is it, it's done." My wife and I used to check the mail every day in hopes that those green cards would be in the mailbox, but they never came.
Ali says Chaudhry boasted of his government connections. Federal Election Commission records we reviewed document a history of Chaudhry's political contributions.
And I was naive enough, obviously, to believe him at that time. But then, as time progressed, I figured out that those weren't green cards.
Chaudhry now claims his legal work wasn't just about getting green cards. He was doing all kinds of legal work for Hamza's family. It's why we wanted to see his invoices long before our first story on Mr. Chaudhry aired, but not a single one ever appeared. Hey Azar, Wayne Dolcefino, I've been looking for you a long time. We knew we would likely only have a few seconds to question this elusive attorney before he got in his car and drove away. But even his car intrigued us. A Mercedes with a sticker price that starts at $118,000. Yes, we checked. Not a shocker for a lawyer who charges $500 an hour, until you see this. A pauper's affidavit Chaudhry filed on his own behalf in a Fort Bend Justice of the Peace Court in 2019. A pauper's affidavit means you can't even afford to pay court costs in a JP court. This was after Chaudhry had been paid more than $800,000 by just one client, Hamza Ali. And just a year before, Chaudhry had enough money to donate $2,700 for Beto's failed Senate campaign, according to those same federal election records. The Fort Bend lawsuit against Chaudhry accused him of not paying rent on a house he was supposedly going to buy. The owners wanted him out. So let's read this pauper's affidavit together, shall we? Chaudhry claimed he only made $5,000 a month. His monthly expenses, $1,750 more. But notice there are no expenses for renting or owning a home. Now look at these fancy digs down on Hagerson Road, appraised in 2019 for over $1 million. Part of a 59-acre spread where we saw Chaudhry living. It's in the name of Riverstone Resort LLC, formed by Azar Chaudhry. He's the only manager for the company. While he's suing us and Hamza Ali for what he said and what we said, Hamza is now taking legal action on that very same property, claiming in court filings it was bought with his money. And no lawsuit will stop us from continuing our investigations into cases of legal injustice. We think this video proves our point. In his lawsuit, Chaudhry says we confronted him while in the presence of 15 to 20 school children and their parents, including his own children, and that we slandered him by making allegations of fraud. And that's the beauty of a video recording. You can clearly see the bus leaving in the background. And we asked just 2 questions. And the first one was about that fancy car, driven by a guy who claimed just a few years back he was a pauper. What a success story. You signed a pauper's affidavit, yet you're driving a real fancy car. How's that?